What's good, y'all? It's the very first episode of the rebranded Top of the Key podcast. This is your boy, your host, Cool McCain, along with the man, the myth, the legend in this business. My man, the con man.
Yo, cool man, thank you for having me on the show, man. I'm looking forward to talking about some NBA tonight. It's an honor and a blessing to be part of the Sports Empire Network and to be along with you as well.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. It is likewise, sir, likewise. So me, I like to start out with just a little update for everybody, let you know what's popping in the world of the NBA, right? So I like to just slide through, give y'all an update on who the top six is in each conference. So this week we're gonna start over on the East. Try to vacillate between which one starts every week, so it's not too similar every week. But in the first place in the East, we have 35 and 15 Boston Celtics. They have lost three on their current streak, so a little different than what we've used to seeing from the Celtics. Second place at 31 and 16, we have the Philadelphia 76ers. If Gene was here, he would be smiling right now, going. And in third at 31 and 17, so just a game back. Actually, a half a game back in the loss column because they have one more loss, is the Milwaukee Bucks, 6-4. In their division, they've won two straight. 76ers have won six straight, so they've been on the climb. Brooklyn Nets are fourth, 29 and 19. They are a two-game losing streak. Cleveland Cavaliers, 29 and 20 in fifth place. They're on a one-game losing streak. And then in sixth place are the Miami Heat at 27 and 22, winners of two straight. So, man, any thoughts about the Eastern Conference top six? I know some teams are in some different positions from last week as well.
Well, cool. I mean, it's, as my man would say, Stephen A. Smith, it's ever flowing. You know what I mean? We're not even to the All-Star break, so it's ever flowing. You know what I mean, my man? So as of right now, before the All-Star break, like as you said, we got the Boston Celtics, who are on a three-game losing streak, which I'm very happy to say. But anyway, I mean, we have the top six. I think it's well-fitting. I think the Knicks are playing well beyond expectations at number 7. I think that the Brooklyn Nets, they're holding tough until KD comes back. So you got to watch out for them. And then you got the Milwaukee Bucks. I mean, they got Milton back. They're going to be a team to watch out for as well. And I'm going to give you all a little shot. I am impressed with the Philadelphia 76ers. I mean, they are coming to light. James Harden, who they said was overweight, out of shape, this, that, and the other. My man is playing some great basketball right now. He settled in, and I think they always said his ultimate goal was individual, but I think he's fallen into the Doc Rivers team concept, and I think they're playing very well, and they're going to be a team to be dealt with in the future as well. The Milwaukee Bucks, they got Middleton back. I mean, they're going to be tough, and they are veterans. They know what to experience and what they're going to go through. As far as the Boston Celtics are concerned, and cool, I'm from south of Boston. I know I don't like the Celtics, but they are playing very well. They're on a three-game losing streak, but you know something? I just don't know about them damn Celtics, man. They got that Batman and Robin, or Batman and Batman. You know what I mean? They keep playing tough. I think a good test will be tomorrow night when they play against the Lakers. But anyway, the Celtics, I think they've been there before. They've done that. And as I told you, Cool and the crew, a lot of teams have to go through the pain and the misery to get to the enjoyment. And the Celtics went through the misery last year. I think they know what it's going to take. The addition of Brogdon has made a significant improvement on their team. My man is so cool and calm and collected. I think that's what they need. And the losing streak of 3 games were without their leader, Marcus Smart, as well. So the Celtics, I think, are going to be a team to be reckoned with in the future. I mean, but cool. We're not even past the All-Star break. So, I mean, those 6 teams that you're referring to, I'm gonna tell you something. Miami Heat, for some reason, they're always in it at the end. I don't know why. I don't know how, but they're always there. You know what I mean? And then you have a lot of players who are doing that. Players sitting out rest management, whatever you want to call it. Whatever I got a few other names, but whatever you want to call it. And they're doing that, but it's been successful. And if you notice, they're doing it with players who are not really well known. Max Strus from DePaul, who didn't even get drafted. He's on the starting team right now. You got some players, Robinson, who made that major contract. He's not even playing. And they're doing things without their most notable players, and they're still being very effective. And for them to be at 27 and 22 right now, I think I give hats off to them as well. So to answer your question, the very first and the Knicks, oh my God, who would have thought the Knicks would be playing as well as they are? They were trying to send Randall out the building, out the house, out in New York City, and look what he's playing now. Look what he did last night.
So man, quick question for you though.
Okay.
Do you think that 6 getting any cooler for Doc Rivers now?
That's a very good question. I would say yes. I would say he's okay. I mean, come on, Cool. 31 and 16, won 6 games in a row, and Embiid is playing out of his mind. And then they lost Maxey for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They got him back. I mean, the reserves are playing well as well. So you got Milton. I mean, I think that Doc is going to be okay. I think he's going to be okay.
Okay, fair enough. So, man, I mean, you said a lot that needs to be said about these top teams. I just think watch out for Milwaukee. I'm going to say that. I've been saying that. I'm not going to stop saying that because now that they got Middleton back, it's going to take him some games to get healthy and get his mind right. But, yeah, that could be good. Also, if KD gets back, watch out for Brooklyn. Right? And then the way Miami and New York are playing, because New York's right there at 7th. Right? And what's interesting, in the top 6 teams, I didn't go over this individually, there's only one team that has less than 5 wins in the last 10 games, and that's the Brooklyn Nets at 4 and 6. Cleveland's 5 and 5. Everybody else is over 500. Milwaukee 6 and 4. Philadelphia's 8 and 2. Celtics are 7 and 3. Miami 7 and 3. So you have teams making moves, winning games. Also, when you look down, there's only 2 other teams that are not in the playoffs that are over 500 in the last 10 games. And that's the Toronto Raptors, who are 6 and 4 in their last 10, and the Atlanta Hawks, who have slid up to 8th place at 7 and 3. So we're starting to see some of these teams that want to try to make a move, really getting on their game and making some things happen. Because if you're in that 7 through 10 range, you want to be 7th or 8th. So at least you can get that extra game at home. And yeah, we're going to have some movement between now and the playoffs, of course. We realize that.
True that.
We're going to not talk about it until the playoffs? Come on, man. Can't do that. So, yeah.
I agree.
That's what we see right now in the East. So we'll slide on over to the Western Conference, where with the one loss last night, the Denver Nuggets, 34 and 15, still atop the Western Conference. Second place, still the Memphis Grizzlies at 31 and 17. They've lost 4 in a row. Sacramento Kings have slid into 3rd. They've lost 1 in a row. New Orleans Pelicans have slid all the way to 4th. Now, remember, before Zion got hurt, they were actually 1 or tied at 1 to 2 with Denver. You got the Clippers at 27 and 24 in 5th, and then the Mavericks at 26 and 24 in 6th place. So, Con, man, your thoughts on the top 6 teams out west?
Well, you know something cool? I'm going to keep it real with you, man. I am really surprised with the Denver Nuggets because if you recall, at the beginning of the year, they were horrendous. They were terrible, but they managed to get there. I know that's your team, so I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna be,
hey man, you be as real as you want to be. I've got thick skin.
But anyway, hey, they have come through. They seem to be very healthy. and they got what might be the third time MVP again.
Top of the ladder still.
He's still doing his thing. They're 34-16. They lost. They have a one-game losing streak. I like the fact that Murray is coming out of his bag. He's almost playing like he did before injury, and I like my man. I call him the second of Allen Iverson. My man off the bench. What's his name? Bird, whatever.
Bones Hyland.
Hyper. Yeah. He is off the charts. To me, he might a little bit Jamal Crawford, a little bit Isaiah. Anyway, he's exciting to watch. That team is exciting to watch. And I do not think, if you ask anybody who's watching this, would they think that Denver will be leading the Western Conference right now? Right now, I don't think so. They've been known to, like I told you last week and the week before, they've always kind of been in the mix, but they haven't gone over the hump. If they can stay healthy, you better watch out for the Denver Nuggets.
And I also want to add real quick, in that game that they lost last night, Jokic did not play, Jamal Murray didn't play, Michael Porter Jr. didn't play.
Exactly.
And they still lost by 5 points?
Exactly. And again, y'all better watch out for them. I'm telling you right now, Denver's going to be a team to watch out for. Memphis, I've been watching them a lot lately. They are some cocky, arrogant individuals. I'm keeping it real. They're very talented. I like their spunk. I like their heart. I like their desire. But they haven't won anything yet. They haven't. To me, they need to chill out and let them get to that spot first before they go and do what they do. But they are very talented. They're very young. They got one of the most exciting players to ever come in the NBA in last 10 years. And I like their team. They're hungry. They're young. They have a good bench. They got a great salary cap because nobody's making big money except Ja. So they got a lot to deal with in the future. I think they're going to be a team to be reckoned with in the future. But right now, I think they just need to chill and go with the flow. Sacramento Kings is the surprise of the NBA. I think I told y'all on the show before, that was my surprise. Look what they gave up. They've been in the downrooms for years and years and years. Shaquille O'Neal's part owner, he even dogged them. And look at them now. They have a young team, and they're playing so well. You got Harrison Barnes, who all of a sudden is getting 25, 30, 35 points. And then you got my man, the bonus, who a lot of people think he should be on the All-Star team as a starter. And then you got my man, Fox. This dude is so humble and I'm come up with my own new word. All right, cool, dynastic. He is unbelievable. The dude can penetrate mid-range game, can shoot the perimeter, he can shoot the three-pointer, he can penetrate, and they're going to be a team to be reckoned with for years to come. And given the salary cap, you got to watch out for them as well. The New Orleans Pelicans, they've been besieged by injuries. Of course, Zion, he's always getting injured. That's going to be a problem. Evan Ingram, I don't know when the last time he played. I think he just started playing recently. But he's been out for a long time. But they have a team to be reckoned with as well. I think if they both were healthy, I think they might be on top of the Western Conference right now. But due to the fact of the injuries, right now they're 26 and 23, and they lost 6 in a row. I think that that could be a problem because it seems like they're going to end up dropping down to the 8th or 9th in the Western Conference. The Clippers, oh boy, cool. I don't know, my brother. You got Kawhi acting a fool again. You got George acting a fool. I don't know. They're playing very well together. They are doing what they were paid to do. They're doing what they were meant to do. And it seems like they're both healthy. And if they can remain healthy, they got Jackson coming off the bench. Figure that out. And if they can figure out what to do with John Wall, I don't think they're gonna make trade before the trade deadline, but I think they're gonna be a team to be reckoned with. I tell you right now, the Clippers, although that's the Lakers' town, the Clippers, as you see what they did to the Lakers a couple of days ago, and I think the Clippers, if they stay healthy, they remain healthy. They got a great coach. Tyronn Lue is a great coach, so gotta watch out for them. Dallas Mavericks. Luka got hurt last night. I think it was a right ankle injury. But my only thing with that team, although Dinwiddie handled 32 points last night, 32, 33, 36, whatever he got. I mean, he can come through, but can he do that on a consistent basis? And if in fact Luka goes out for some other reason during the course of the end of the regular season into the playoffs, do they have enough to compete? I say no. I say no right now.
So, comment. Here's my thing about Luka, right? And I think he's one of the best players in the league, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna start off by saying that. But here's my thing: they look better without him. Everybody else looks better when he's not on the court.
Absolutely.
So they've got to figure out a way for Luka to still be the Luka that he is, but he's got to get the ball up more. His ball dominance stops the flow of that team. They went out there, and of course, they beat a Phoenix team that didn't have a couple of their starters, right? Well, they'd have their most important piece. But just the way they moved the ball, just how they played, just how everything flowed. Dinwiddie was more like an actual point guard. He's getting his points, but he's slicing, he's dicing, he's setting people up. He's got guys making plays. They got more energy. They're moving faster. They're up and down the court quicker. Luka's got to find a way to be that guy for his team at least part of the time for them to do anywhere with or without him. Because you shouldn't be better without your best player.
Right. Now, cool. Let me ask you a question. You know they have a all NBA, all world coach. What can he do to facilitate what you're saying?
Well, the problem is, if we're being 100% honest, he can talk to Luka all day. But until Luka gets up here and says, okay, I hear what coach is saying. I'm seeing when I'm sitting on the side or I'm in the back or I'm taking the game off, how the team is flowing. But when I'm in the game, it's not happening that way. He's got to want to himself say, in order for this team to unlock its true potential, I got to step back offensively and I have to be more of a facilitator from the point guard position. You can't be as ball dominant as he is being. Jai is not that ball dominant. Hey, you name another point guard in the league who's that ball dominant.
There's no one.
That's what I'm saying, and that's the problem.
All right, cool. Let me tell you this. As you, I know you know, it took Jordan 9 years to realize. It seems like Luka's kind of the same type of player that Jordan was. Ball dominant, got to score 30 points and ball hog, but they don't win. It doesn't win. You need that Batman and Robin. And do you think that maybe he's telling Mark Cuban, yo, man, I need some help. I need some help that I can trust someone else to fall back on when I'm not. They are with me.
So I will say the big difference between Jordan and Luka for me is Jordan came on a team where you had dudes smoking in the locker room, doing drugs.
Oh, absolutely.
Like wilding out. So you couldn't depend on dudes like that, right?
No.
But I think with Luka, it's mentally. Like he's just got to say, I've got to find ways as the point guard. Because keep in mind, MJ wasn't a point guard either.
Right.
As the point guard, my main job is facilitating the offense. My main job is making the guys around me better and then finding ways to get mine. If that's y'all go out and get yours first, then I take over, or I get mine first and then I become the facilitator. His issue is it's never the facilitator time. It's always the me getting mine time.
Exactly. True that.
If he could just dial that back some, I think you can put him on a team that he's on now, and maybe they don't win a championship, but they compete for being in the Western Conference Finals every year because that's how good he is. But you have to use all of your tricks. Right now, he's too focused on the ball dominance. Get a ball up some. Let Dinwiddie have a ball. Let Tim Hardaway Jr. let some of the other guys get the ball and do some things with it sometime.
Do you think Jason Kidd can relay that message to him?
I would say if Jason Kidd has not relayed that message to him yet, then he should have been fired.
I have to agree.
So I think
Who
the
else?
message has been
Better.
relayed. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of him receiving and absorbing the information and using it to make the changes he needs to make to his game. And that's, I mean, like you said, it does take time for younger guys, especially a guy like him that's been so much the best player, and especially overseas. I think he's went pro at like 15, so he's been
Mhm.
pro for a while. So this has been his game. But in order to win championships in the NBA, the best basketball league in the world, you got to make some changes.
Absolutely correct. I mean, if you look back to the NBA history, there's no one player that has taken a team to a championship. You need to be team oriented. You need to, I guess, respect your teammates and have trust in your teammates in order for you to succeed. And Michael Jordan is what better proof than that? You know what I mean? So Luka, I mean, and how long do you think by him doing what he's doing by himself primarily, is that going to last?
Oh, it's not.
It's
Because
not.
people, yeah, because what's going to happen is over time, your teammates are going to become uninterested.
Exactly.
They're not going to rush back on defense because you can get the ball up on offense. They're not going to screen as hard for you. They're not going to dive for those loose balls for you. I mean, you're the captain of the team, so you're the guy. So you have to keep those guys also interested in playing with you. And the way he's
Absolutely.
playing,
Mhm.
I just don't see it. You've got guys that have asked to leave there and left, right? So you got to find a way to make some changes, Luka. Your individual skills are great, but this is a team game.
Without question.
And then also, Ja Morant.
Ooh.
I want to say this, and then we'll move on. Ja did come out and say in an interview that the only team he's worried about in the NBA is the Boston Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
So I want Ja Morant to understand how disrespectful that statement was, right?
Oh, yes.
You're not even the best team in the West, but you're just basically taking all the teams in the rest and saying none of y'all even concern me. Well, I'm gonna tell you a little secret. If you think you're going to ever make it to an NBA Finals, you better be concerned with the rest of the West, sir. I
Damn
love
right.
Ja, but like you said, so remember you said before teams get a little arrogant. They are following their leader. Gotta
Exactly.
stay humble, Ja. Until you win, you gotta stay humble.
And they're also on a 4-game losing streak as well. So you know what I mean? You got to be honest with yourselves. I mean, they're young, they're hungry. I like their firepower. I like their intensity. I mean, they got a good young team. They're fun to watch, but they ain't made nothing yet. They have no reason to be talking smack right now at this level right now because they ain't made nothing yet.
Right. And the same as we talked about in the West, there's only two teams that are under 500, under or at 500 in the West, in the top six. And that's the Dallas Mavericks at 3-7 in their last 10, New Orleans Pelicans 2-8 in their last 10. They're struggling without Zion. You look at the Denver Nuggets 8-2, Memphis Grizzlies 6-4, as you alluded to, 4-game losing streak. Sacramento 7-3, and the Clippers 6-4. And then when you move further down, there's two teams. There always seems to be two teams that are on the move up. At 6-4, the Minnesota Timberwolves are now in ninth. And then at 7-3, the Oklahoma City Thunder have moved up into 11th. So they're one spot out of the play-in as of now.
Yes,
So we're
yes,
seeing some
yes.
teams winning games and making moves.
Yes, absolutely. You're right. You are absolutely correct.
Very important. Very, very, very important. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on. We got a question here from Michael. So, are we sure Dallas as an organization is committed to winning a championship?
Oh, that's my guy, Mike Samuel, man. Shout out to Mike Samuel, man. Thank you for tuning in to us, man.
I'm gonna let you take that one, Con, man.
Thanks a lot, cool, man. I thought me and you was me and you. But to answer that question,
I'm gonna answer too. I'm just messing with you.
The question was, are they
committed to winning a championship?
Yes, of course. Mark Cuban, as the owner, I mean, he's been a winner all his life, and he strives to be a winner. And I think that he has no basketball knowledge really. He's just a owner. But to answer Mike's question, I think that obviously, when you're an owner of a team, at least you should be. Your ultimate goal is to win a championship. So I think that they have all the wherewithal to be a championship. I mean, they can go over the salary cap like the Lakers have done, Golden State has done. So to answer that question, I would say yes, they are dedicated to winning a championship. They just have to get the right pieces to go along with the man, Luka. If they can find the people who can more or less flow with his flow, I think they have an opportunity. I mean, Dinwiddie right now, like as cool as you said, he played great last night without Luka. I mean, like you said, they seem to be playing better without Luka because they're not relying on Luka. And I think that could come a long way in the future because if you just rely on Luka and he's not there, then you're lost. But if he's out and the team can get better as a unit, that's going to definitely benefit them in future games and maybe even into the playoffs. But to answer that question, obviously, I think, yes, they are determined to win a championship because Mark Cuban is kind of like a Jerry Jones. He wants to win.
So, sir.
Oh.
I am actually going to take the opposite approach, and I am going to begin with your last statement in making my point.
Okay.
Is Jerry Jones more focused on winning championships or putting butts in seats and making money?
I got a good answer for that. I think prior to that, putting people in the seats and making money. The man's 80 years old. Cool. I think he knows his time is coming. I think he's willing to do whatever it takes to win a championship before he kicks the bucket. That's why he paid Dak all that money. That's why he paid Zeke or whatever, all that money. I think the fact that when you're an owner and it's almost about your time, don't you want to go out as a winner?
Well, let me ask you this comment. That's really
he already got all the money in the world. Cool. He got all.
He really wanted to do. Why did he keep Mike McCarthy as his head coach? If that's what he really wanted to do. Why did he keep the offensive coordinator that he has, Kellen Moore, if he's really trying to win a championship?
Now, cool, you're gonna have me stop stuttering. I'm gonna try to be politically correct. I think one thing about Jerry, as you know, they do not have a general manager. Jerry's the general manager, the custodian, the cook, the barber. He's all that and then some. So he actually wants someone that he can manipulate and tell them what they can do. That's why
they don't win.
Correct. That's why they had Bill Parcells. We all know what a great winner he was, but he couldn't get along. Jimmy, we can go back with the Dallas Cowboys.
If you really want to win, you secede the troll to the football people. Jerry Jones will not do that. So he does. So to me, he's not doing everything he can to win. Now on the Mark Cuban.
All right. Now, okay.
Mark Cuban is concerned with putting butts in seats and building the Dallas Mavericks brand. And I'll tell you why.
Tell me.
Mark Cuban hasn't said, Luka, come to my office. Have a seat. Jason Kidd, come to my office. Have a seat. Whoever the general manager is, come to my office and have a seat with him. Here's the problem, Luka. We need some changes in your play. If you need new people to come in and play with you, who do you want? Who does he need to be the best that he can be? Right? Who does he think he needs? Right?
That's why they got Wood.
But he's not working. Why is it not working?
No.
Because you want Wood to stand out there and be Chris Bosh with LeBron James. That's not his game.
True that.
So the thing is, to me, to answer Mike's question, I would say no. They're not committed to winning the championship as they're constructed right now. They're committed to making the team more profitable, making more money. So maybe in the future, once they're making more money, then they're not as concerned with going over the salary cap to bring in the guys that's needed to play with Luka. Luka needs 3-and-D guys that don't need the ball. Because he's not going to give it up.
First of all, I want to welcome my man, the man, Mr. Phoenix Suns himself, Mr. Robinson, my dog in the hip hop. All right,
gentlemen, it's a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure with you, my man. All right, let me tell you something. do we or do we not have a trade deadline coming up?
We do.
Do you or do you not think that maybe Mark Cuban or the general manager or Jason Kidd might have something in store to help Luka out prior to the trade deadline?
So here's my answer to that question. I'm sure that they have some ideas of things they want to do, but here's the problem: fit.
Mm-hmm.
And you only have one viable piece. The only two viable things that you can give up: draft picks or Christian Wood.
Okay.
When you look around the team, who else are you giving up on the team that's going to make somebody give you not even necessarily a superstar, but a quality star player? That's the thing. Chris, feel free to jump in here, sir. We're
yeah, you know he
answering-
will. You know he
answering
will.
Mike
Well, you know, I don't care
question.
if anybody helps out Luka and the Mavs, especially after what I
Right.
did last night.
And Chris, why do you not want anybody to help him out, or you don't care if anybody helps him out?
Say that one more time.
I said, why do you not want anybody or care if anybody helps out Luka? Would you like for me to say it for us?
Oh, well, you know how I feel about
Yes,
Luka.
you
I
got
ain't
it.
gonna say it on here. It's a PG. So.
Because of whole, that's why. That's how we feel. But Chris ain't gonna say it. I'll say it. I guess Chris had to hop off for a second to get a internet rocket right. But yeah, that's it, man. For me, you could try to make some moves, but until you get that brain trust together and say, Luka, you got to change the way you're playing, son. People aren't going to want to come play with you at the same level that they want to play with other people if you're going to be ball dominant the whole game. So that comes down to me, to the coaches and the people above the coaches, to sit them down and make those changes. But right now, Luka's selling. Luka's hot. People want to see Luka play. Ching ching, bling bling, dollar dollar.
Cool.
Mark Cuban loves
I hear you. Mark's already a billionaire. I'm not
Billionaire.
sure he's concerned about that right now. I mean, they
Billionaire.
always sell out. So I don't think the money's the issue. I think the fact that he does want to win a championship. And I think that he's not a basketball guy. He don't know nothing. I
But come
mean,
man,
yeah.
everybody wants to win a championship. But Mike, question, let me put it back up there for you. Are they committed to winning a championship?
Yes.
The answer to that to me is no.
I say yes.
Do they want to win a championship? Yeah. I think there's not an owner in the NBA that doesn't want to win a championship. But being committed to winning a championship is different from wanting to win one. And that's why I don't think they are at this time.
We can debate that. I'm waiting to see. I mean, obviously, losing Brunson was a big detriment to them right now, obviously. But I'm waiting to see what changes they're going to make prior to the trade deadline. I think something's going to happen because I tell you what, you already know how the Golden State have gone over the salary cap triple fold. I think Mark Cuban will do the same damn thing if they can get someone who's viable to work with and facilitate Luka's talents as well.
All right, Tom, man. I'll end with this question. I won't say anything else after you answer this question. Who is the guy? Who is the guy that's going to work well alongside Luka?
Well, that's $1 million question. But I'm just saying there might be somebody out there, and maybe they're doing their research. They got all the graphics. They got
all the stats.
I'm trying to think.
Numbers.
Do you know who I think? I'm gonna give you some. I'm gonna shock y'all right now. Do you know who I think would fit real good with Dallas? They got the size. They got the wings. They got the shooting guards. They got Luka as a point guard. Do you know who I think would be a good fit? And you're probably going to shut me off, maybe lock me down, cut me off the show. I think Scary Terry would be the ideal fit defensively as well. I think Scary Terry would be that one who would be able to distribute, be able to deal with Luka, have Luka have faith and confidence in him, And Scary Terry right now, if you look, he's playing out of his mind. I think that would be a good fit for Dallas right now.
So
I guess that's not
so,
going good. But I'm telling you, I
hey,
truly
hey,
believe.
I'm asking you the question. Like, it's not a wrong answer to your own opinion, right?
Right. I mean, I'm not going to change your mind. I'm just going to give you food for thought. Scary Terry is going to go to somebody before the trade deadline. I guarantee you. Who? I don't know. But I'm telling you, if I was Dallas right now, take a little bit of heat and the pressure off because they had Brunson, who took the heat off Luca last year. They don't really have. They got Dinwiddie, but
You
they
know
have
why?
nobody else.
You know why Brunson left? Because he
Excuse
couldn't
me?
get the ball. You know why he left? Because he couldn't get the ball unless he was playing without Luka in the game.
Correct. Correct. I think Scary Terry. Know something cool? When we come back after the trade deadline, you're gonna be like, "Yo, Con man, you was right."
You know what,
I'm
Con
telling you.
man? I'm gonna actually allow you a week, right?
Okay.
You come back next week, and I'll let you put you a list together of who you think would be good with Luka, because it's gonna take you at least that long to find
Yeah,
a
it
list of
is.
people
Yeah, it is.
that you
Yeah,
think could
yeah.
play with Luka.
True that.
If
Yeah,
you
I
think
mean, your
Terry
price is
Rozier,
high. It
okay,
ain't gonna be easy.
yes, sir.
This is one of the hardest ones you ever asked me. But
Yes, sir.
I don't know. Luca's tough. Luca's tough.
I'm gonna give some time. We're gonna make that a topic next week. I'm gonna give you some
I
time.
appreciate that.
Yeah, because you're gonna need it. All right, so we're gonna move on, comment, and we are going to discuss the NBA All-Star team.
Oh boy. Hmm.
We're gonna go conference by conference. We'll start with the East. So in the East, the leading vote getter and the captain of Team Giannis, because the East and West don't really matter anymore. Giannis Antetokounmpo, also voted as Eastern Conference starters, and I say that in quotations because it's not really what it is anymore. Kevin Durant, Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, and Kyrie Irving.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna answer the question first, and then I'm gonna ask it to you.
Okay.
Do you feel like there are any snuffs on this team? I'm going to point out two very should be clear and present snuffs from the starting lineup. The first one I'm going to say is Joel Embiid. If you tell me he does not belong in the starting five, I am just going to look at you. I'm not even going to respond. I'm just going to look at you and be like, is he for serious? The other one, I think, should be, and he's not even like high on the list, but I think the other one should be Jalen Brunson. What he has done in New York, this guy should be a starter. Those are my two. I'll turn it over to you, sir.
You know something cool? I would like to disagree with you. I would like to debate, but in this situation, I can't. What the two individuals just said, how can you go against it? First of all, Embiid is playing the best he's played in I don't know how long. And you give the fact with all this, I'm gonna say the words wrong because I'm old school. Time off. I'll call it time off. Whatever you want to call it, time off.
PTO time.
Yeah. Whatever you want to call it. Hey, my man's still playing every chance he can get, and he's playing at a MVP level. I mean, the man is consistent. He's playing hard. He's been through some tough times. As I stated before, Cool, a lot of teams have to go through the hardships. And if you remember, he had some individual named Kawhi hit that last second shot that ruined their chances of going to the finals.
Yeah.
And he's been through it. And I think that, he's still young. He's incredible. He's healthy. He lost a lot of weight. He took pride in his diet. I mean, he's really focusing on winning a championship because that's one of the goals that he has had. So I definitely agree with you on that. Now, as far as Brunson, I mean, think about all the pressure he was under because the Knicks and everybody else wanted Donovan Mitchell. So when he left Utah to go to, Dallas, to go to the Knicks, he was under scrutiny because his dad is an assistant coach for the Knicks. I played against his dad, by the way. So I kind of know the pressure he was under. And for him to perform the way he's performing, I mean, my man has taken it to come to a place like New York City and dealing with all the press, all the pressure, everything, knowing that the Knicks people wanted Donovan Mitchell. And he comes on, and then he's playing kind of sort of for his dad. And that's probably why he ended up going to the Knicks in the first place. But he has been tremendous. I've been watching him. If y'all watched last night's game, my man is aggressive. He can hit the perimeter shot. He's only about 6'1". He penetrates. He's aggressive. I love the way he plays. And I think he's making Randall a better player as well. Because you see Randall's acting a fool. Randall, what you got, 37 last night? He's acting a fool. I think that's all in play because of Brunson. He made Luka better, and now he's making Randall better. So to answer your question, I definitely think in the East, you hit it on the nose. I got no complaints on. Although, cool, I'm gonna give you a little something, and he's not gonna get no credit. I think Maxey might deserve some recognition as well, but he got hurt. But I think Maxey plays a big role as far as the 76ers' success. But the two you named, I can't argue with you.
All right, and comment, we're gonna flip it up. For the Western Conference, I'm gonna give you the starters, and I'll let you tell me who you think should be on this team that's not. All right, so for the Western Conference, the starters are LeBron James, the leading vote getter. So he'll be captain team LeBron for about the 50,000th time. Nikola Jokic, Zion Williamson, Stephen Curry, and Luka Doncic are the starters out west.
Oh, that's easy. Cool. That's easy. Zion should not be on that list. Zion, I think he was averaging like 27 prior to his injury. But given the fact that he's been injured so much, he's like an Anthony Davis. I mean, you really can't count on him. His numbers are fantastic. Given the fact that he's so much injury prone, cool, I can't go with that. I don't think he deserves to be I mean, talent wise, numbers wise, but as far as stability, as far as being there, game in, a night in, a night out, he does not make it for me. I mean, talent wise, he just has to be able to play on a more consistent basis. I do not think that he should be part of that starting all-star team. But then again, you got people who look at his numbers, his youth, and the impact he's made on the Pelicans, and you can go with that. But if you're asking me, and I'm gonna keep it real, just like you, I cannot see him being part of the all-star team. And the man's been out for so long, and been out for so long in previous years, and we don't even know when he's going to be able to come back. So how are you going to honestly choose him to be an all-star 2023?
So who would you have put in above him?
Ooh, man, cool, you hit me hard. In the West, who would I put above him in the West?
I definitely agree he should be the starter.
I
actually think there's two people that should be starting.
All right, you tell me. I'll agree or I'll disagree.
The other person I think should be started is Stephen Curry.
I mean, again, he had a stretch where he was out, but you're talking about the all-time, and can't go wrong with that. Steph is a man. Steph is the face of the NBA.
But he shouldn't be starting. He missed a long stretch of time. He had a lot of other guys that stepped up and had great performances. And while you're thinking about who you want for that, I'll even tell you who I think the players, plural, I think they should be starting over him. There's actually three that I really have. There's two that I'm adamant, and one is like he could not. So I ain't even gonna mention. But the two that I'm adamant about, we're gonna talk about. The two guys I think that should be starting
Oh, I already know who one of them. I already know who one is.
is the arrogant John Morant.
And
And
Dame.
actually, I'm not even going to go with Dame because he's been
What?
out hurt. He's been out hurt as well. So I would be hypocritical if I put Dame in, injured Dame in over injured Steph. I'm going to go with SGA, Shai Gilgis Alexander. That man has been
Oh,
balling this year.
whoa. I have.
Balling.
Oh, hey, cool. Woo. My man is Mr. Consistency. My man is smooth as silk. I've been watching him. I mean, I am so immersed in his talent. My man is just consistency. You already know you're going to get 25, 7, and 8, or whatever, every single game. And if he's healthy, he's going to give you them numbers. And cool. I mean, you enlighten me. I mean, that's my guy. I mean, it's tough because, he plays out in Oklahoma City. So a lot of people out east really don't get the chance to see him play.
Right.
But I got the chance because I'm watching TV all day long. I watch all the games. I got NBA. I watch everything. And that dude is off the charts. I mean, that dude he's all that in a bag of chips. I mean, you're right. I think he should be a damn starter, but because of the fact that he's been out in the West Coast, a lot of people on the East who vote don't really get a chance to see him play. But for all y'all who haven't seen him, go check him out. He's box office, no doubt.
Yeah, that's the two for there. Now, if you like, I can drop a few names in place of Zion Williamson. Actually, one you named earlier already. Remember when you said Domantas Sabonis should be a starter? I don't disagree that he should start over Zion Williamson, but I have another guy who I feel like could start over him too. And again, for me, I'm looking at guys who, if they were out, it was minimal, like a couple of games. I like guys who play, right? That's my thing. I like guys who are on the court. So my other guy I'm going to go with is from the Utah Jazz, Lauri Markkanen. I think.
Ooh. It's funny because if you notice, he's been like a throwout. I mean, he was with Cleveland. I mean, with Chicago. Mm-hmm. He played like maybe 15 minutes a game. You never really got to see him do what he's doing right now. Sometimes it takes a move to prosper your game. Another example of that is my man Kuzma. Look what he's doing with the Wizards right now. Yeah, so I mean, sometimes going to a different team where you get more comfortable, and playing your game and Markkanen. I mean, when I saw him play with Cleveland and Chicago, I mean, it looked like to me he was like an afterthought. Look at him.
Yeah.
Look at him now. That boy's dunking. He got the all-around game, and I think next year, he'll be given more respect. I think he kind of like surprised the world the way he came out this year. I think a lot of the voters, a lot of people have to see it a little bit more to gain that confidence. You know what I mean? I think he deserves to be in there, no doubt. Matter of fact, I think Jalen Rose, matter of fact, put him on that list. So I definitely think that he deserves to be there. I think next year, I think you got to set the groundwork. I think he set the groundwork because he's been like, I'm not going to say it has been but he's been one of them guys who've been going team to team to team and never found a place. I think he's found that place right now.
And he's killing it.
He killing it.
So also wanted to discuss the All-Star Game format.
Ooh.
So I don't know for me how much of this is different. I know one thing is different, but so for the format, they're going to now do the draft the same day as the game. So it's going to happen like before the game, where in the past they did do it earlier on TV. The captains will draft their rosters live prior to tip-off. So that'll be different. And then the All-Star starters who receive the most fan votes. That's kind of really the same that part, which is whoever receives the most votes will be the captain for their team.
Mhm.
Um, I'm a traditionalist when it comes to the All-Star game. I don't care about the whole, oh, let's see these guys play together. They may not play together if it wasn't for this, oh, blah, 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 blah. Just go sit down somewhere. You play in the East, you play with your guys from the East. You play in the West, you play with your guys with the West. That's how I feel about it. I think we've gotten to the point where we want to make everything like, oh, let's make it where it's the most fun for everybody, and then we can get people to watch because they can see LeBron. Go ahead and play with Jason Tatum. That would be great. I think you get to a point where you're doing too much, and we have achieved that point in what we're doing. We've taken things that weren't broke, and we tried to fix them, and we broke them more.
Cool, you are 1,000% correct. Cool, check this out. The two NBA All-Star teams will compete to win each quarter for their respective beneficiaries.
Mm-hmm.
Each of the first three quarters will begin with a score of 3-0-0 and will last 12 minutes. The winner of each 12-minute quarter, first, second, and third, will be the team that scores the most points within that quarter. The fourth quarter will be untimed, and the teams will play to a final target score. Come on, Koo. What the hell is that? For real. I mean, I'm old. Yo, you just play the winners win. Who cares about what quarter? No, you just set me off because I'm sorry, man. Old school, you play to win, not quarters. You play to win the damn game, not by quarters. Who the benefits? I could care less. I want them to play the game the way it should have been played. The West plays the East. The East plays the West. I don't want no playground pickup game before the game. I'm pissed off. I don't like that. Play the game the way it should have been. When Isaiah and Magic and Jordan, it was West against these because they had a rivalry during the season. And then the All-Star break, that continued on during the All-Star break. Now you got Larry Moore and Curly playing against Larry Moore. Y'all hang out. No. That's
And
not
that
the way.
starts with AAU. That started with AAU.
Damn right. Oh, man, don't get me going. Go ahead, Koo. I'm on the road. Go ahead.
Hey man, I dig it. Like, I mean, like I said, I'm old school when it comes to that. I don't care about and I understand why you did it the first year Kobe passed, and you had the you didn't have anybody in the game, so you want to do something different. But see, I think sometimes we get to the point where you make a change, and you're like, oh, that worked, so let's keep it. I think this was a 1-year thing that should have happened, and then we should have went back. If you wanted to say whoever's ahead at the end of each quarter will give money to a charity for them, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
You can do that. You can go back through the stats and say, hey, in the second quarter, the West scored 45 points, the East scored 47. So the second quarter, the East gets, the money to go to the charity for their choosing. I'm fine with that. But when we get to the end of the game, and I don't remember the exact rule because I don't have it pulled up, but essentially, like, it's one team's already ahead because whoever scored the most points, it's like an extra 24 points added on to that. No, 24 plus 8, so 32, I think, to honor Kobe is what it is or whatever.
Correct. You're right.
So, like I said, it was good for 1 year. I think if you want to name the MVP of the All-Star Game trophy after Kobe Bryant, the Kobe Bryant trophy, I'm good with that as well to honor him. But we don't do this at any other time during the season.
No.
We've taken the All-Star Game and we've made it a pickup game where you play 3 quarters. It's not really matter to an extent because all you have to do is outscore the other team, get to 32 before the other team, and whatever less you are to win it with no time. Like I said, it was a great 1-year thing in the bubble year when we had COVID and people weren't going to things, but it wasn't something that should have been kept, and it was kept.
Now, cool. Check us out. The final target score will be determined by taking the leading team's total cumulative scores through 3 quarters and adding 24 points. What the hell is that? For real? What? No. They're
Just
going
make the
too
last
far.
12 minutes too, and then whoever the most points at the end of that 12 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's
Now, what you said was okay. After a team, after a certain quarter, money gets donated to charity. I'm all for that.
No.
But this is ridiculous, man. And then you get to play. First of all, 90% don't even play competitively. Anyway, the game is, to me, is atrocious to the way the game used to be played. As I said before, you got Magic, Isaiah, man. They're gonna play to win. They ain't gonna go for this nonsense about scoring 150 points. They're gonna play to win the damn game, and that's how I was as a competitor. I don't care. You put me on that court, I'm gonna go there to win. I'm not gonna go. I ain't doing
You
that.
can put me pool, pinochle,
Yeah.
bowling, golf, basketball. I ain't even that good, but soccer, like whatever you want to put me out there on. I'm trying to win.
You got damn right, cool. That's just you got. I'm sorry, cool. That gets me going.
I mean, and if you wanted to make the game more interesting, there's a simple way you can do it without doing all this foolishness. If you win the All-Star game, your team is the team with home court advantage for the finals. Plain and simple.
I'm good with that.
Plain and simple.
Now, cool. I don't want to go away from the topic, but cool. Let me tell you something right now, and I'm gonna keep it. You'll be laughing. I'm gonna keep it real. You're gonna have a dunk contest in the 2023 All-Star game. You only have 3 participants, and one of them has not even playing in the NBA. He's playing in the G League. So you tell me where the NBA All-Star game used to be. The dunk contest was like the best of the best when they had Michael Jordan and Dominique and all them. Now you got people from the G League participating.
Blame it on number 23. Blame it on number 23 because in 19 years he never did it. Blame it on 23.
So you brought up the All-Star game. Cool. I love the show, but that topic has me because I'm old school. I like the way the format that used to be East versus West. West versus, y'all go at it. You all play hard out. Whoever wins, you win. And you play like it. And that's how it should be. And then maybe the winners can have money donated to charities. And even the losers, a certain amount go to the winners, certain amount go to the losers. But you go out there and play. How am I going to play when I allegedly have animosity towards the East and I'm from the West? But now you're going to be my teammate. We're going to be all kumbaya. No. Ain't happening. Ain't going down that way. Not me. I ain't going down that way. But that's me.
You preach it to the choir, sir. You preach it to the choir.
I'm sorry. I can't go that way, cool. Can't do it. After the game, we can be kumbaya. But during the season, no, we going at it. Hey, I played in the league, cool. I've been involved with so many leagues, and I got so many great friends. But during the game, it's on. I don't even know you. I don't even care about you. That's how I am. But times have changed, and everybody making $30, $40 million a year. So what do they care? They're still going out there and doing what they got to do. And the thing that I talked about before, you got these kids who parents who have no money, who are paying for the kids to go see a game, and these players who make 40, 30 million don't even want to play because of rest. So I'm pissed off. I love everything about the NBA game, the talent level. I mean, the excitement that they bring, but there's a lot of negativity that I just can't go with. That's me. I'm sorry, bro.
Hey, man. I mean, you have own feelings. Ain't nothing wrong with feeling the way you feel. So, another topic we'll move on to talk about here is are the 2012 Oklahoma City Thunder the best team to not win an NBA title?
That's a good question. Look at all the talent they had. I mean, you had Harden coming off the bench, if you recall. I would say yes. But you know something, though? again, as I stated before at the beginning of the show, a lot of times you have teams have to learn how to lose and have to learn how to win. I don't think that team learned how to lose or learn how to win. I'm gonna give you an example, and I'm gonna talk about my boy Isaiah Thomas. As you know, that's my guy. When they lost in semifinals or the finals of the Eastern Conference, Isaiah went to LA and watched the Lakers play against the Celtics. He took it to heart to learn how to win. So to me, I know I'm exaggerating a little bit, cool, but Oklahoma City, I don't think they really learned how to win. They had all the talent in the world, but they did not learn how to win. They learned and was confident about losing and felt comfortable with losing. But with that team right there, to answer your question, with all that talent, but at that time, were they as good as they were projected to be at that time? So to answer your question, I think potentially yes, but at that time, again, you had Harden come off the bench. That's why he left in the first place. Westbrook was a beast, but out of control. Durant was unbelievable, but I don't think he was ready to take on that challenge of becoming a champion at that time. But talent-wise, I would say yes. But mentally, no. Physically, yes. Mentally, no.
Okay. So there's a couple of different answers to this question for me, but I'm going to go with a no. And the reason I'm going to go with a no is there was a team that won 73 games in the regular season and didn't win a championship. That's going to be, if I'm remembering correctly, that's going to be the 2015 2016 Golden State Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
You win 73 games and then you don't win a championship. In my mind, you're the best team to not win a championship.
I
Now,
kind of agree. I mean, look who they had: Cole Aldrich, Nick Collison, Daquan Cook, Kevin Durant, Derek Fisher, James Harden, Lazar Hayward. I don't know what he did. Serge Ibaka.
I mean, they had some
Well,
good players. Don't get me wrong. I would say they're one of the best teams, but they weren't better than that Golden State team that won that 73 games. They were not better than them.
oh
And yeah,
no.
and if you look back, you think about some of those teams in the Michael Jordan era and what they would have done if Michael Jordan wasn't there. Think about that New York Knicks team. That was a really good team that never won a championship. Anthony Mason, Charles Oakley,
Yes.
Patrick Ewing, um, John Starks, and others. So those some good teams.
Well, if my man didn't miss that layup, that might have been a whole different outcome.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? What was his name?
The Cleveland Cavaliers as well. That
Yeah,
was a
the
really
Knicks.
good team.
Charles Smith.
Charles Smith,
Charles
missed it, yeah.
He missed that layup. That could have made a whole big difference. You're right. You're right. And then look at Utah. What they could have done. They had a little problem with Chicago.
That
Cleveland
Houston team,
Cavaliers had a little problem with Chicago then
that
too.
Houston team with Charles Barkley, that team
Another
was
one. Another one. There you go. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jordan ruined everything for a lot of people, man.
a lot of great teams do not have a championship because they happen to be in the same era as his airness.
Exactly. True that.
Yeah. So I agree with your man Mike here, and he's saying that creating gimmicks in sports is not sustainable. If the game is not attractive enough, that should be considered. Yeah.
Hey, my man Mike knows this stuff. Yeah, I agree with him, man. I mean, they're trying all these gimmicks.
It's cool to do
That
some
ain't
stuff like
working.
a one-off, but to like try to replace things with these things sometimes,
Come on, man.
it's not the move.
Sometimes don't fix it if it ain't broke.
Yeah.
But one thing I do want to ask you is getting back to the All-Star. How come all the I'll go with. I hate to say it, but I'm gonna keep it real. Ja Morant.
Hold on, comment. Before you finish, we're going to bring in the
Oh,
NFL
my man,
genius
G,
himself.
the man of the hour. You know he's gonna come correct. You already know that.
Yes, sir.
Y'all got to catch me up. I apologize. I've been catching up on podcasts. I've been out of town for work all week. I apologize. I've missed our first episode at 9 o'clock, but I love y'all and I hopped on as fast as I could.
Oh, you good. We got things controlled over here, sir. We make it happen.
So
all right. So right now, so we've been jumping around a little bit. Me and Con Man, we've been doing what Cool and Con Man do when you put us by ourselves. We've been jumping around. But right now we're on discussing if the 2002 Oklahoma City Thunder are the best team to not win a championship.
2002?
2012, excuse me. I said two, my bad.
No. You're kidding me, right?
I said no. Con Man thought they might have been
the 73-9 Warriors.
Oh yeah, hey Gene, that's what Koo said. Yeah. I'm with you. I got awakened. I got dementia, man. Gene, he woke me up.
I appreciate it. No, but the 73-9 Warriors were absolutely incredible. And they were up 3-1 in that finals. And if Draymond Green doesn't get suspended, I don't think there's any chance they lose that finals. I think they win it in 5. I think they were one of the greatest teams ever assembled. And I think a lot of people forget how good Harrison Barnes was on that team.
Oh, he was nice. Very nice.
So you had Steph and Clay in the middle of their prime, Andre Iguodala, Harrison Barnes. They were great, man. That was a good overall team. But the 2012 Oklahoma City Thunder, I just felt like they were. I just thought they were too early. I don't think, like, if you look at the team now, like, you could say that was a stacked team, like prime Westbrook, but that wasn't prime Westbrook. That wasn't prime.
See, Koo, I told you, Koo. I told you.
That. Comment said that.
It was just too early for them. Like, I feel like if you took them all in their peak, they would be the greatest team to never win a championship. But, like, even if you look at, like, the Brooklyn Nets of 2 years ago, when Harden and Kyrie both got hurt, I think they would be one of the best teams to never win a championship because they were so dominant. And then Harden pulled his hamstring, and then Kyrie rolled his ankle, and Durant almost beat the Bucks by himself. If it wasn't for his toe being on the line, he beats the Bucks the year the Bucks win the NBA Finals.
And that could change the whole landscape right there. You're right.
100%. And I feel like if that happens, Harden might not want to leave. It might have been you won a championship together. It brings you closer. Just a thought.
That's a good thought. I can't argue with that. That's good.
Yeah,
that's why he's on the damn show.
So, yeah, Gene,
I didn't even know y'all talking about that.
Yeah, we were kind of jumping around a little bit here because we were hoping you were going to be able to hop on, right? Give you a couple things.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy.
Too.
Yo, so one thing, Sixers, man.
Yeah, what I tell you, Conman? What I tell you?
Did y'all talk about the fact that Embiid got completely snubbed?
Oh yes. Yes.
Because that's some bullshit, right?
Feel free to add your thoughts, sir. Feel free.
I think he's gonna. Go ahead, G. Go ahead.
So he's second in the MVP race right now, as far as odds, but he's not starting in the All-Star game. Like, they need to take the fan vote out of the goddamn. It doesn't matter. Like, stop saying. Listen, the fans will appreciate a great game of basketball, but like, people's contracts are reliant on All-Star starting appearances, All-Star appearances, first team All-NBA, and when you allow a fan to dictate how someone gets paid, it's just wrong, in my personal opinion. Joel Embiid has been everything short of amazing, and if you look at the people that are starting over him, like, yes, Giannis. I'm not going to argue Giannis starting over him. You can make that argument one way or the other, but Kevin Durant, the Brooklyn Nets are 29-19. He's played less games. He has less points per game, less rebounds per game, less block shots per game, a lower offensive efficiency, a lower defensive efficiency than Joel Embiid. And then you have Jason Tatum. I understand 35-15, but the Boston Celtics are the deepest team in the NBA. It's tough for me to understand starting either one of them over Embiid I would have started Embiid over Durant easily, a lot easier, especially the fact that Durant's hurt. But the popularity contest once again strikes, and Joel Embiid gets screwed.
You know something, Gene? I have to agree with you. It just seems like Embiid has always gotten a bad look. The man is playing, and we always talk about playing the game. He plays almost every damn game and does what he does. I mean, he went through that situation, as I told Koo before you came on, Gene, about Kawhi hitting that crazy ass shot from the corner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think ever since he's just getting a raw deal. I don't think people have come to it. Look at this dude. He can handle outside. He can handle inside. He can hit the perimeter shot. He's a good foul shooter. He rebounds. He plays. What more does this guy got to do to get the notoriety? I don't know. I don't know.
Gentlemen, we're gonna bring on Marcus as well. This might be a good segment.
Oh, this could be interesting. This could be very interesting,
We
Gene.
are talking Embiid, so this is a good time to.
So
How's it
my
going,
bad.
Marcus?
So I forgot the time change from 9 to 10. You know, so that's my fault. But yes, from what I heard so far, Embiid has been getting the Duke end of the stick when it comes to All-Star nods, MVP. But then again, as far as MVP goes, I'm just not a fan of how I vote for MVP. Like everything is biased to a certain. I mean, biased.
Well, I get that.
MVP vote.
But what we're really discussing right now, you might not have caught all of it, was him being snubbed in the
Right.
All-Star
That's
game,
what
not being able to be a starter. Yeah, so I think that's
what I was going to next. So
I think that's
that's where I feel as though. That's where I feel as though right now, by doing a positionless thing, that's what really hurts the most because truthfully, he's like the only real center in the Eastern Conference right now. So if you want to call it a front court, technically you really got to put him. He can't really be snubbed because he has the numbers. The team is still in second place in the East. So like for the past 4 years now, we've been 1 or 2 in the East, and his numbers been phenomenal this season. After I had my little spat about him, being a little lazy, and stuff like that earlier on a other name, he's been awesome ever since. So yeah, I don't know what he has to do, or if it's just the NBA landscape nowadays, because like the centers, they really get no love. It's like they go out there, they put up numbers, well, especially him. He go out there, numbers, and it's like he just doesn't get the doubt. I don't know if they just overlook at Philadelphia as we're not contenders. So even if you want to go that route during the regular season, our numbers been top tier as a team and somebody that doesn't need to be overlooked. And for him to get snubbed, whether you want to just say it's a front court names or it's him, I don't think it's him because I think what he does for the Sixers to the media, it ain't like he doesn't talk to the media or give you, that good vibe when you speak to him. Like he's always media, he's happy, he's dancing, he gives you jokes, all that good stuff that what you would want from somebody after a game or so. And it's like I don't know why he just doesn't get the recognition he should. I use recognition as a word.
Bottom line, I'm gonna do the same thing I did earlier. We were talking about it. Kevin Durant should not be starting over Joel Embiid. Period. I did the same thing in the Western Conference. Specific players. I'm not talking about like, this player should be in this. No, Kevin Durant should not be in the All-Star game over Joel Embiid. That's the person who should not be in for Joel Embiid to be in. And the fact that that's not what happened is a travesty.
Yes.
It's an embarrassment to voters. The people who are voting clearly are not making logical decisions that make sense. And that is a concerning thing. Gene brought up the fact that maybe they don't need to be able to vote. Whatever the outcome is, however you change it, sometimes it's clear what should happen. And this was a case to me, it was very clear. And the fact that this happened, Kevin Durant
And
is
to
in
give
off
them
of what he's done in his career, not what he's done this year.
and to give the voters 50% of the vote, really? That
So
makes
I think
no sense to me.
that goes back to that. It's like with Embiid even last year when he got snubbed for I think first team All NBA, they had him as a forward and a center, which I don't know how that makes sense because he has never played for as long as he's been with the Sixers or he's been in the NBA. So I don't even know how that makes sense. So it's like this dude just gets snubbed left and right when it comes to certain recognition awards and stuff like that. I don't get it.
When was the last time the guy that leads the NBA in scoring wasn't starting the All-Star?
Right? I can't think of none. I
That
don't know.
I can't even remember a time, sir.
I
I
can't
thought
either.
that
You
was
got me on that
the
one. I don't
a
know.
prime
I don't know.
thing, right, to be in the All-Star game. I thought it was one of the prime things. But
And I also thought that normally when they vote for this stuff, I guess prior years, like if you like top 1 or 2 seed, you usually have 2 to 3 players, or 2 players at least going into the All-Star game. One normally started, and the other one's normally a reserve. I don't even think Harden is not even a reserve at this point. At least I don't think he is, unless he get in for like an injured Kevin Durant, or I'm assuming that
Harden gonna be a reserve,
Mitchell
bro.
was hurt.
yeah, Harden will be a reserve.
Hey, but you know, some fellas, as a former player, you know, I would take more or give more respect to those who I play with or those that I coach or coach against me as opposed to some damn fans. Because the people who watch really don't know what it's like when you're in the paint against somebody or playing somebody at the point or the forward. The players really know and the coaches really know. You can sit back and watch as a fan, but you ain't out there playing. So I would take more credence if it came from my peers or my opposing coaches.
A simple, I think, solution would be switch the percentage. If you want the fans to vote, get them 25, get the players 50. I think
I'll roll with that.
Will the
I'm a
NBA
fan.
do it?
Joel
No, they
Embiid
won't.
is number 2 in the NBA in player efficiency rating behind Nikola Jokic. He is number 2 in the NBA in player impact estimate, which is PI, the PI rankings. He is number 6 in the NBA in offensive rankings. He is number 7 in the NBA in defensive rankings. He's number 1 in the NBA in usage percentage, 37.7% usage percentage. Number 1, even ahead of Luka Doncic. You would, if I asked you that usage percentage question, you would say Luka, and you wouldn't think twice about it. It's Joel Embiid. Guys, it's embarrassing.
There it is. But Gene, to talk about what you just said, you think the average fan knows what you just said?
But that's the problem. That's why average fans shouldn't be
That
voting.
is the problem.
So my comment, I'm not like trying to be smart when I say this. I would love there to be a panel of like intelligent basketball fans and knowledgeable fans that were able to vote for who plays in the All-Star game before just letting any Joe Schmo, I have a LeBron jersey, so I'm gonna just check this.
There you go.
Like
My vote counts, right?
Kevin Durant won a championship back in 2018. I'm gonna
Right.
pick this box here.
I'm with you, Gene. I'm with you. I agree.
I know who he is. Yeah, it's Stephen Curry. Yeah.
Yeah, I got his jersey, so I must know. I got his jersey.
I get it. It's always good to have you on, Gene. It's always good to have that
Oh yeah, he
the
likes
different
things
take
up.
on things, sir. Yes, sir. So we were going to actually move to All-Star Game reserve picks. If you guys want to give your your reserve picks. And Gene, I know that you're ready, sir.
Oh, he is. Oh, no doubt.
So, I mean, it's tough. So, how many reserve picks you want? There's 7 more guys on each side that make the team.
Yep.
So, you 14 guys.
So let's start off with the East. Give me 7 for the East.
Okay, so, Siakam has to make it. I think Boncharo should make it as a forward. I'm just thinking forwards in my head. Julius Randle has to make it. He's had an incredible season. For Jaylen Brown has to make it. That's 4 forwards. Let me give you 4 guards because there's 7.
Well, they actually have Jalen Brown listed as a guard. I don't know why, but he's listed as a guard.
Okay. So 3 forwards I've given you. Harden, Jalen Brown, 100%ers, and then DeMar DeRozan would be my other guard that makes it in. So that's 6. Let me just give you 6. I'll give you 3 forwards, 3 guards.
Yeah, because that's one person that you got to put on that you don't even need to really discuss. You got to put Embiid in.
Well, yeah, that's my point.
Yeah, that's
So-
the 7th. Yeah, I get it. All right,
Yeah,
Con Man.
Oh, you just want to do East? Go ahead.
Yeah, we'll just do East and then we'll do West. Con Man.
Well, no, as usual, Gene kind of hit it right on the nose, except I'm going to add one. And this dude's another one who kind of goes unnoticed, kind of gets under the radar, is Bam. I mean, Bam's averaging 21.6, 10.2 rebounds a game. I mean, I think he's that Toronto's not doing as well, but I think that Miami's not doing as well, but I think that he deserves some consideration as well. I mean, he's been very consistent all throughout the year as well. I definitely would include him as far as the East. So you got Pascal, of course. You got Brunson, of course. I would go with Brunson as well. Of course, Embiid. I'm trying to think of someone who maybe has gone under the radar. Well, I give 4 or 5. How about Drew Holiday? While the team has been without Middleton and Giannis been out, he's been hanging tough. He's been playing very well as well.
I feel like you can't be wrong with your choices, right? It's not a right or wrong.
No.
Right. It's
The
really
question for the East is between Banchero and Holiday. That's what it is. And you're right there. I just have Banchero because you're going to need more forwards, and there's a little bit too many guards. There's tons of guards and not enough forwards. I just did it for a thing of size. But, yeah, I agree with you. Drew Holiday, you're talking about the best defensive guard in basketball.
Yeah.
And, I'm a huge fan of two-way players. Drew
Yes.
Holiday is a great choice. It's just it gets lost because someone like Zion Williamson starting for the West.
Right. Well, we're going to get into that.
We talked about that as well earlier too. So. All right, Marcus, who you got?
I pretty much got the same thing as Gene. Matter of fact, in Colin too. I mean, you really can't go wrong with who you pick as reserve because everybody we named, they all deserve it, and it's a shit that a couple of them are going to get left off. I'm always a big Jaylen Brown fan outside of, being a Sixers fan. I just think his game, I like the way his game translates. I think you can put Jaylen Brown on any team and still get the same type of production that he's giving in Boston. Probably did some. Joel Embiid got snubbed as a starter, so he has to be in here. Jalen Brunson, I would pick him over Randall just because we know what Randall does for the Knicks before Jalen Brunson got there and what they're doing now while Jalen Brunson's there. So I give that to him. I'm going to go with Harden because he just,
We know that. We already know that.
Yeah. I give it to Pascal, even though and where it needs to be, but he's been balling himself out there. And I do want to reward the Ben Carroll for the Magic because them boys, even though their record might suck, but them boys, they be balling. Like, I watch Orlando games. When he come on, I watch the games. I like Bobo. I like Ben Carroll. I like the Magic. They young, they long, they athletic. I like that team. So I definitely put him in there just because he's bringing a certain type of vibe to Orlando. I'm sorry that they just didn't get from folks. If he ever got on the court, why he's still there. So you can't go wrong. Definitely have to go with Drew Holiday, ex-Sixer. He's still balling with Milwaukee. So you can't go wrong with him.
Before y'all go, cool, you go. I was just thinking. What about Jimmy Butler? What about DeMar DeRozan? What about Trae Young? What about Julius Randle? What about Darius Garland? What about Kyle Kuzma, who's playing out of his mind right now?
I'm just not a fan of Trae Young. I'm not a fan of Trae Young.
I mean,
So
No,
that
but isn't
scores
that
his
good that we
cases a
can-
little bit.
isn't that good we can debate because so many players are playing so well? It's good that we can debate. It's not like clear cut. I mean, come on, DeMar, man, he's Mr. Mid-range, Mr. Consistency, and he's been playing. He ain't been hurt. I mean, you got to take that in consideration. He ain't doing that load management, load cut, or whatever, however you want to call it. He ain't doing that. He's out there playing every night that he can play.
Well, I didn't put Jimmy Butler in because Jimmy Butler ain't play enough.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true. That's true. Good
So for
point.
me-
I'll go with that. I'll go with that.
For me, I would honestly go with my three guards. I would go with Drew Holiday. I would go with Jalen Brunson. And I'll go with Jalen Brown. And I'm not saying there aren't other guys who probably will make it over those particular three, but those what I would go with. As far as front court, I'm gonna go Siakam. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually gonna put in. I'm gonna put Banchero in, and I'm gonna put in Kuzma. That would be my other three. Obviously, we all know I didn't even have to say Embiid. But the reason I would go with those particular group of people is I feel like it is the All-Star game. It is a reward for what you've done so far this season. These are guys who've played all, if not a lion's share of the games for their teams. They've been asked to do a lot for their teams. They've been the focal point for their teams, and they've been the reason why their teams have been good, whatever extent of good it is for those particular teams.
And also, what's good for the NBA from a management standpoint is you try to have one player from each team representing the NBA in the East. I'm talking about from a management point of view, not from our point of view, but from a management point of view.
As many different teams as possible.
And we can say whatever we want to say, but Ice Trae is going to make it. I don't want Ice Trae to make it. I left him off intentionally, but he's averaging 27 and 10. You're averaging 27 points, 10 assists. You're going to make the All-Star team. I don't care how follow those stats are.
All right, so Gene, we'll start with you again. Western Conference reserves. Who we got?
Well, SGA. That's easy. That's a good.
Very easy.
Dame time. 30 points a game. The starters were Luka and Steph, right?
Yeah, starters were Luka and Steph.
And then Zion and LeBron and Jokic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
one of those shouldn't be there, but that's a different.
Yeah, Zion might not be able to make the team, but so SGA, Dame, Ja, Morant. They're three easy ones. I got a crazy one for you, but he's played like an all-star this year. Lauri Markkanen.
Oh no, we talked about him. We talked about him already.
I thought he should be in Zion's place, actually.
Jalen Brunson should make it.
Damn. Even Alexa thinks that.
Yeah, Alexa, I'm kicking her ass. I'm kicking her ass
I hate saying it, but Street Close should probably make it. He had a great run, even though he only played 26 games. There's not a lot of forward or big man depth in the Western Conference. So Anthony Davis should probably make it. So you got Lauri Markkanen, and I'm thinking of forwards in the Western Conference, and there's not many. It's loaded with guards. Like I would love to add another guard in the Western Conference. Like you can add Ant, you can add De'Aaron Fox. There's a lot of guys in that. Like Anthony Edwards has played all 50 games. He's averaging 25 points a game. Like Anthony Edwards should make the All-Star team. Street Close has got 26 games played, but there's not a lot of forwards, so he's going to make the All-Star team. Because
I love it. Street Close. I love it.
I mean, that's his name at this point. Like he doesn't.
I love it.
And then my last forward, just because of how much of an impact he had, would be Domantas Sabonis. He's had such an impact over there in Sacramento. Is most of the reason why they're in the position that they're in.
Fair enough. Comment, who you got?
I kind of got to roll with Gene for the most part. Sabonis and Fox. I mean, them two have revitalized Sacramento Kings. I mean, they are a team to be reckoned with. But I have to go with Fox. I have to go with Sabonis. And then, I mean, Edwards, I mean, wow. He's becoming the face of Minnesota right now. You know, given the fact that they gave up a whole lot and Mitchell's carrying the boat right now, you got to give him some credit as well. But again, as I stated before, because the NBA wants to have representation from almost each and every team, I would think that Sabonis, definitely a Fox. You know, there's some other players who are playing at a real high caliber, but they're not getting recognition. And you also got to know too, Gene and Marcus, a lot of these teams are out west, so a lot of people in the East Coast don't really get a chance to see them play. You know, you got to go by numbers, or you got to go by. But the eye test is not there because we don't get the chance to see him play as much. So you got to take that into consideration as well. But I mean, as Gene stated, there's not really a lot of people in the fourth spot that you would consider doing damage in the Western Conference. But I mean, I'm sure Wiggins got big votes. He got big votes. So I mean, the West is kind of tougher because they are so much on that getting. I'm sorry, folks. I don't know what the hell to call it. Getting your rest period or whatever the hell it's called. I can't stand it. So we got some of them involved with that. So I really can't be honest and judge about that. So you have to go with. To me, right now, I definitely think Fox and Sabonis definitely deserve consideration as well out of the West Coast. I think they're playing very well as of right now.
Yo, real quick, before you go, Marcus, I just looked at this and it blew my fucking mind.
I gotta get in here. Hold on, let me get my girl hand back on. Sure.
Do you know that Russell Westbrook had more All-Star votes than De'Aaron Fox?
Yes, sir.
No way.
I swear to you, I'm not.
What?
Russell Westbrook had more All-Star votes than Damian Lillard.
What?
Yes, sir.
Like,
Well, to be fair, when he in the All-Star game, that boy puts on the show. To be fair,
I don't care who
he puts on the show.
Yeah, are you
Russell
serious?
Westbrook is an All-Star. He shouldn't even make a reserve.
No.
He's a bad point guard at this point.
He's a sixth man.
Guard.
He's a sixth man.
Well, he in consideration for 6th man of the year. So
Yeah,
and plus name Westbrook is still. No, but his name's still Westbrook. So as long as it's still Westbrook,
Problem. Damian Lillard's averaging 30 points a game.
Dame is killing him. Dame time.
but see, that's the thing, though. You know, when
Lillard
it's all
missed
said and
games,
done, he missed games. And when it's all said and done, like I think Portland and LA, I think they both like a game and a half out the sixth spot. So it's like
You know something?
you
Marcus,
picking Apple, you picking.
I hear you, Mike. Yeah, and Mike, what you're saying is absolutely correct. But you know something? How many times you see Portland playing on TV? How many times you see Lakers play on
That's the
TV?
thing. I got the league pass, so I watch all the teams I possibly can before I fall asleep.
You do, but how many people get a chance to see Portland? Really?
That's true. You know what I'm saying? If they're not on ESPN playing somebody that's on ESPN, you're not really going to see Portland.
And
And
Dame
that's
been
more
killing.
so.
He's been killing for years. And he's loyal. I mean, tell you the truth, I see Dame maybe twice a year. I got direct. I see him twice a year. Unless I'm watching ESPN and checking the highlights out, I hardly ever see him play. Now, I know
Now, would I have an issue? Would I have an issue with Russ being named or reserved over Dame? Not necessarily. I mean, I would have an issue, but for me, it'd be SGA, it'd be Dame, it'd be De'Aaron Fox, it'd be Larry Marketing, it'd be Sabonis. Who's the other one? My other one. I don't even think I'll put Anthony Davis in it. I won't put him in there. So Ja's definitely gonna be in there. One more.
We probably should.
Who was the other one?
PG got to be in there.
Played enough games to be in there. He almost missed just as many games as Kawhi did, so I don't think he should be in there. I would throw Westbrook in there to tell you the truth. I'll take AD, but I put Westbrook in there.
No, I wouldn't do not for All-Star. No.
I got it. Kendall Johnson needs to be your last forward.
Oh, it could be.
I don't know who that is. I'm sorry.
What?
So
you say you got league pass? You don't know who Kendall Johnson is?
No.
He put on the Spurs. He's absolutely killing it.
Yeah, he's about the only thing smoking over there.
That's
Actually, Gene stole my thunder again, but it's all good. It's all good.
See, I don't watch no San Antonio games, so.
Western Conference, I would, of course, go with Kendall Johnson, as he said. I would go with Andrew Wiggins. I would go with Lauri Markkanen, and I would go with Domantas Sabonis as my forwards. We want to be a little forward heavy because the Eastern Conference is going to be a little forward heavy. The guards, this is where it gets tricky. I'm going to have to draw a line in the sand and go with these three particular gentlemen, though. I'm going to have to go with Anthony Edwards. I'm going to have to go with John Morant, and I'm going to have to go with SGA.
And Dame.
No, I agree there.
I'm leaving Dame off. Dame's missed games. I'm going.
Oh.
I'm going with guys who have played almost all.
You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with him. Yeah, you can't go wrong.
And that doesn't mean that Dame is not a great player, but I have a reason. If you're gonna put Dame on, you got to put AD on. You can't mince it there. If you're gonna put Dame, you got to put AD. I'm not putting either one.
I can't argue. I mean, it's.
The thing with AD, he had that good little stretch for like 2 weeks, and then he gets hurt, and then that's it. It's like I can't even put you in the All-Star game off of 2 weeks worth of play.
How much you want to bet AD gets hit before the All-Star game?
No, but I looked it up. Y'all crazy. Dame's played 36 games, bro.
Right.
You can't not have Dame on your list, bro.
I can not have Dame on my list, and I don't. If you want to put him on yours, that's cool.
Hey, that's what's good, man. Everybody has their own opinion. That's cool. I mean,
we have 50 games that have been played for most teams. 36 out of 50. I'm not putting you on my All-Star team.
That's tough.
Yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong. Let's just say he missed 5 games out of the 50.
Well, hey, you know, some folks look at Zion.
It's still tough. Yeah, it's All-Star game, so they like. I mean, you really can't go wrong when you pick. Like, it's your, when it's comes, it's like who you want to see really. Who? See, for me, I'm a fan of the All-Star game. You know what I'm saying? When it comes on, whether that effort from first quarter to third quarter, but when that fourth quarter comes, I want to see Steph with the ball, LeBron with the ball. It doesn't really matter who's out there. I just want to see some good competition in that fourth quarter when it comes to the All-Star game. And truth be told, Steph, I'm not necessarily knowing if you need Dame necessarily, because Dame ain't really be taking them type of shots that Steph would be that late in the game. And I like Ja Morant's game. You know what I'm saying? I will, put the ball in the basket the way he does.
Now, folks,
whether flying through the air, doing turnaround 360s or whatever. I want to see him in the All-Star game. There's nothing against Dame. You know what I'm saying? It's just you can't go wrong. It's so many players right now that you just had to nitpick at this point.
So, gentlemen, we got two more things real quick.
All right, real quick. Cool. You mentioned the fact that if someone only played 35 games, but not you, but apparently the NBA is putting Zion on the starting team, and I guarantee you he didn't play 35 games.
I mean, we already talked about the fact that I don't believe he should be a starter.
I know. I'm not saying you.
Along with Gene, I don't believe he probably shouldn't even be on the team. Possibly as a backup, but definitely shouldn't be a starter.
I just want to make that point. So,
so we got two more things tonight, guys. So quick one. This should be pretty quick, I think, for everybody. Which game do you believe LeBron will break the scoring record? Comment. We'll start
So
with you.
we put up.
Oh, go ahead, Marcus. Go ahead.
Good, Mark.
So he put up what 20? He put up 20 last game, right? I think it was 26.
I believe so.
Against San Antonio, right? Was it 26 against San Antonio?
I mean, it sounds right.
So he still got to. I'm thinking it's going to be that ninth game, not the eighth one when they play Milwaukee and LA. I think it's going to be one after that. The game after they play Milwaukee is when he break that record. So I'm assuming I think that's a ninth game from now. So whatever ninth game it is from now, I think that's when we're going to break. But I think it's going to be on the road at
That's
the
not
time.
good.
So that's at Golden State. Okay, so I see him breaking it at Golden State probably by the third quarter. Golden State, he breaks that record.
Comment.
So he still got to average almost 32 points in order to break that record in like 6 games.
How many points is he behind right now?
140 something.
No,
I think.
he's 200 and something.
No, I think that's not.
Because he was like 296 when he went to San Antonio, I believe. So
I
he's
could
got
be
to
wrong.
be like, so he's got to be like two. He's got to be like at 240 almost. I think right now. Because he would have to average 32 points in the next 8 games just to get to break it in 8
He's
games.
158 points from passing Kareem.
Yeah,
Okay.
158. Okay, so 157. That's at least 8 games. That's what we're gonna do.
So yeah, it's about 8 games.
6, 7, 8.
That's not 8 games. He's averaging 30 a game. That's like 5
Right.
games. He's gonna do it at home versus Milwaukee versus Giannis.
So that'd be 8 games then.
7.
7, okay. So you think he's gonna average 30? You think he's gonna average 30 in these next 7 games? Well, 6. Well, yeah, 7.
That would mean he only has to average 25.
Okay.
If we're talking about me,
Yes, sir.
you know something? LeBron is a very intelligent individual. I think he has this all planned out. I think in his own mind, he has his own concept when and how and whatever he's going to do it. Something tells me, could be wrong, y'all. I could be wrong. Something tells me he's going to do it February 15th against the New Orleans Pelicans at Crypto. Because right now, what you guys are saying, if he's going to average 30, whatever, I don't think he is with AD coming and Huchamara, whatever Chinese guy, whatever the hell his name, I don't think he's going to be able to want to have to score that many points. I think he's going to be happy with getting his 20, 25, 20-some points. I think he's going to get it February 15th against New Orleans Pelicans. Mark it, count it. Because he don't have to score 30 more. He got AD now. He got help. He don't have to be scoring 45 and 30 and all that. I believe he's going to probably chill out, stay healthy. I think it's going to be February 15th, Wednesday, 7 p.m., Lakers versus New Orleans Pelicans.
The only way I can see that happening, Con, if he missed like the next 3 games in order to catch that. I mean, they're making it on that number.
He don't have to score 35 for it. He's not going to do that. He got AD now. He can
I have a
help.
2-game window for this. It's either going to be February 9th, as Gene said, at the Lakers, or February 11th. I mean, February 9th playing the Bucks at home, or on the road at Golden State, February 11th.
Okay, cool.
I think that's the window, 9th or the 11th. I think that's what I believe is when he's going to break it.
That's good. That's
My
what
original-
we're here for.
My
I'm telling
original one was
Gonna be-
January 31st against the Knicks in Madison Square Garden, but he's got to average like 53 points these next 3 games to do that, and he's not going to do that.
If AD wasn't there, I would agree with y'all. But with AD being back and Huchamara, Chinese Chicken, Egg Foo Young, when he's there, I'm telling you right now, I think it's going to be.
That man he is half African American and half Japanese. So
He said, Egg too young.
Chinese Checkers, I'm
Chinese
telling you right now.
and I love Egg Foo Young.
So the last thing of the night, we know yesterday was the anniversary of Kobe's passing. Tough moment for all sports fans, whether you're Lakers fan or whatever team you liked. So definitely want to acknowledge that. Wanted to give everyone an opportunity, and you guys go whatever order you want. To first want to say, of course, condolences still go out to the family. I know it's still been hard. His friends, his team, family, all that. But a favorite Kobe Bryant memory.
Yo, I think y'all should let me go first, only because it's going to be a little bit sentimental, and I'm going to try to be brief as I possibly can. I'm going to talk about Kobe off the court. I'm not going to talk about Kobe on the court. We all know his accomplishments. We all know the 81 points. We all know all the accomplishments he's had on the court. I'm going to talk about something off the court. So bear with me. Give me a couple minutes. About 8-9 years ago, I was broadcasting games at UMass Dartmouth. Anyway, they were going to bring a team in to play in Massachusetts called the Boston Frenzy. And bear with me now. I was given the opportunity to be a broadcaster. Anyway, there was going to be this team coming in to be the Boston Frenzy. And they asked me to be a referee for these tryouts. And during these tryouts, there was players from all over the country, Division I, Duke, North Carolina, Moses Malone's son. I can go on and on and on and on. Okay, so now I turn my head, and guess who I see walking in the building to be the Boston Frenzy coach? It was Kobe Bryant's father. Okay, Joe Bryant, and they used to call him Jelly Bean Giant. His father was known for his tremendous vertical leap, played with the Clippers, played with the 76ers, played with the Lakers, etc. So when he became coach, and I was broadcasting at that time, the Boston Frenzy, I got to know Kobe's dad. And if you guys remember, Kobe's dad and Kobe had a real non-existent relationship because Kobe's dad and Kobe's mother didn't like the fact that Kobe was with who he's with now, and they had a little problem, so they didn't talk for a long time. And Joe was really hurt because he wasn't able to see his granddaughters, etc. So fast forward, the reason why you mentioned Kobe that stands out to me is Kobe was stubborn, and if y'all remember, Kobe's dad is the one that instilled the mama instinct in Kobe. I'm gonna tell you one quick story if I can. Give me like 20 seconds. Joe coached the Boston Frenzy, and all kind of players were coming in and out from all over the place, and they were all getting cut. And Kobe's dad, Joe, said, "Look, I've been trying to teach you all. I'm gonna show you all." At the age of 50, Kobe's dad, Joe, went out there and scored 50-something points at the age of 50. And we're talking professional basketball, not the NBA, but it was professional basketball. And he went out there, and then that's when you could see where Kobe got that Mamba mentality. And anyway, I'm going to end it with this. After all them years, if you remember, Kobe's dad, Joe, ended up coaching the Los Angeles Sparks of the WNBA. and to try to get close with Kobe, his son. But they still were not getting along. But thank God that they ended up, I guess, throwing things under the bus, and they became good friends. And to me, that says something about Kobe, and that stays with me because all the accolades, all the things he's done, to be able to be and forgive his dad, and for his dad to forgive him, and for his dad to be able to see his grandchildren before all that happened. I think to me that's more important than all the accolades that he has accomplished in his life. So I know I'm hitting you guys a little bit hard, but that's what stands in my mind. We can all talk about the games and all that, but to me, Kobe, the man, the Mamba, came from his dad, and they were separated for so many years. And for them to reunite, and for Joe to be reunited with his grandchildren, to me, means more than anything that Kobe has accomplished. And if Kobe was alive today, he would say the same thing.
All right, Marcus, what you got?
Uh, the funny thing is, I don't think I watched the Kobe 81-point game. I think I seen highlights on my sports when it happened. I didn't watch it, when it was happening. So, aside that, I think I watched Kobe's last game when he played against Utah, I believe. I think it was Utah. His
Yeah, he
last
got
game
60.
before he retired. He got 60. I watched every second of that game. And for him, I think he was still hurt too, right? When he went out there at the time, I think he had a problem with his
Yeah, he
foot
was
still.
overcoming. He wasn't hurt. He was
Yeah,
overcoming.
okay. And for him to still go out there and jack up as many shots as he did at the time, I was like, yeah, he's still Kobe. He's still going out there jacking up 40 shots and stuff like that. And I watched every minute of it, and it was fun to watch that game. Even though I think they let him shoot, Utah did at the time, but it was still fun. Watching that game, I was like, maybe he might go for 81 since I didn't see it. I was hoping, he'd go shoot 60 shots and try to get to 100, because I think he'd be the only person capable of probably getting to 100 next to Will Chamberlain. So that game I watched from start to finish, and I think that what I could remember most about Kobe outside of him and Shaq, really beating my Sixers in 2001. Like we were some little nerds in the schoolyard, and these 6'6" bullies just taking advantage of us. And in the championship game. So I remember that too. Him and Shaq doing a number on my Sixers. So well, yeah, R.I.P. to Kobe. Still not in my top five, but R.I.P. to Kobe.
All right, Gene, what you got, man?
You ain't got to add that at the end, bro.
Yeah, you really don't.
January 25th, 2020. The Philadelphia 76ers played the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James passed Kobe Bryant for most points on the list, on the all-time list. That's not my memory, but
It's still a good one.
no, I was at that game, and they said they knew LeBron was going to pass Kobe that night, and the reason Kobe Bryant didn't come to the game to be there back in Philadelphia was because Gianna had basketball the next day. That was the next morning. The helicopter crash happened. My favorite memory is a little bit selfish because I'm a big Kobe fan. I wore 24 for years for Ken Griffey and Kobe. That's why I have that. But my favorite Kobe memory happened on February. It happened in February of 2018 when the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl. And I watched him he watched it. There's a video of him that his wife released of him celebrating the Eagles winning the Super Bowl because he was an Eagles fan. So my favorite memory was to watch Kobe, a guy that killed my team every time he played us. Like, me and him were rooting for the same team. We were rooting for the Eagles. And to see the celebration in his face when the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl, when he danced around. I don't know if you ever seen this video. I'm sure Cool has, being an Eagles fan. But it's incredible to watch his happiness when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. But that's probably my favorite Kobe memory. And if it isn't that, if you want a playing memory, I'll give you a quick playing memory. It is when he went absolutely ballistic in Game 3 of the NBA Finals versus the Indiana Pacers for their first title, I believe it was. He went on a run he scored 24 or 26 points in the second half of the NBA Finals in Game 3. It was the lone game I felt like the Pacers had a chance of winning. I think it was the Pacers. But they're probably my two memories for Kobe. One of the reasons I still wear 24.
Yeah, for me, one of my favorite memories is a story that Shaq told. So they were on. This is when they were on the Lakers together. They had lost a game, so Kobe called Shaq at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and Shaq was like, "Why ain't you calling me at 3 or 4 in the morning?" He's like, "Well, I was outside, shooting, working, and I was thinking of some plays that we could do." And Shaq was like, "I'm asleep, man. You can call me later." And then, they basically got into like a little bit of a disagreement because Kobe was like, "You need to hear this stuff now. You need to try to go work on this. That's how we're going to be better." And just the drive that he had. And that was something that Shaq, of course, respected. Even when they were having a little beef, of course, he respected that. And in another moment, I thought Gene was going to steal it from him. He got close, but he didn't quite get it. So my favorite moment, I saw the celebration that was amazing, but that run that we had, Kobe was the guy that was out. They had him on one of the videos. He talked about it and different stuff where he would say like, "Yeah, it's great that we beat the Vikings. We got to the Super Bowl. It's great that we got to the game, but it's Super Bowl or bust." And to see Kobe Bryant with his 24 Eagles jersey on, his custom Eagles jersey, and how much he was into the Eagles, it made me kind of see a different side of Kobe because I've never been a Lakers fan. I'm a Nuggets fan, so I hate the Lakers, right? They're like our big brothers that we want to beat up. We haven't been able to until the last few years. So feel like we're finally growing up on them. So to see him kind of be a guy that we shared that team with, man, and how much he cared about it and how much like I felt the same way he did about it. That was dope, man. And that was a great experience to see. And I feel like it did, at least in some small part, help the Eagles win that championship.
Facts.
And guys, I don't want to, I know we got to close up. Have you ever seen so many of his peers cry at his funeral and when he passed away, and what an impact he made on the whole NBA? To me, that says it all. I mean, he's been a mentor to so many players, and the impact that he has made on the world. Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan, but Michael Jordan did not have the impact on fellow players like Kobe did.
Jobs
Kobe made an impact on the women's league. His daughter, he was a coach of the. I mean, it would take me about 10 hours. I can't go on anymore. But the impact he made on his fellow players says it all.
Why aren't you happy? Job's not finished.
No.
Yep. And I say, man, the last thing Khan touched on it, but it's really important to me because I'm a big WNBA supporter. Kobe was the guy that was pushing the WNBA to mainstream. That's what he wanted to do, and that was a passion he had. And he touched a lot of the females on that end as well as a lot of the younger players on the NBA end.
Yes.
So that's a vacuum that nobody's filled since he passed away.
Yep.
Well, Kyrie's trying to fill it. He's trying to fill it.
Who is?
as far as Kyrie Irving. He's trying to fill that vacuum that Kobe left behind as far as pushing the
Ain't nobody-
WNBA forward.
He's
Ain't
not doing anywhere near what Kobe was doing.
Yeah, no, it can't happen. No, it
You
can't.
can't even put what he's done in the same category.
No, it can't. Really
Kobe
can't.
had ingratiated himself to the culture, the women. He was a big proponent. He was helping them with the new CBA, trying to, hey, this is things y'all need to ask for. This is the things y'all can do. It was so much that he did. One person can't feel it because these guys are
Oh
actually.
no, I didn't say one person could, but Kyrie has picked up the slack and trying to do what Kobe started. I should say.
Well, that's good. That I mean, gotta give him props for that. But Kobe,
I mean, he's not Kobe. We all know that, but I'm just saying he's trying to pick up the slack that Kobe started for the women.
That's
You know,
good.
they're
That's
getting
good.
entertainment. You know,
that's good that Kobe left the impact on him to do what he's doing. So, but Kobe set the standard.
So, guys, we're about to close out here. Any last thoughts before we close the show?
Well, I did miss an hour's worth of show, so I'll make up for it next week. I'm assuming.
I'm
Now
honored
that
to
we
be
started
part
down
of
the
the
block.
show. I'm honored to be part of the show. I'm honored to be part of the network. I'm glad that we focused on Kobe last, because if we did it first, I might not be able to hang for the whole show. I'm glad that we brought respect to Kobe and what he's done, and I appreciate that to the fullest. And I think that, you know, it's great that we can relive memories of what he meant to us and to people as a whole. So I'm honored to be part of it, and I'm going to share this, and we're going to have this forever. So thank you all for that.
Absolutely. All right, good people. Check us out next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. We're going to rock it out. All NBA all the time. Top of the Key Podcast, episode 1. We out.
God bless you, Kobe.